Pretty good game. Nothing special. Metre and a half.
Hey,
hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rugby
League.
It's my one.
No, it's mine.
Mine. We're back.
We are back. The dynamic duo, we're here.
Been too long, Terry.
I know. I've missed you so much. We've got so much rugby league to talk about.
So much rugby league.
Apparently there was a really big game last night, but we're not going to get into that straight away.
Don't care.
No, absolutely not. Let's talk about some interesting news, though, Dan. What do you got for me?
Nothing, Terry. Nothing. Big player signings.
No,
huge player signings.
Yeah, Tyrone Peachey has gone to the West Tigers, and if anything screams West Tigers, it's Tyrone Peachey.
The one position they didn't need to fill was another useless bench spot, and that's what they've done. And how much?
About 400 or 500k a year by the sounds of it.
Nothing screams West Tigers quite like a terrible off-season signing.
No, it's a tragic move from them. He's got no position. He doesn't feel any void for them. Yeah, he feels no void. I don't know.
Straight swap for Moses and Bai, perhaps?
I mean, if you're going for a utility player, you probably still got to keep him by because he can play fullback. He can actually play in the halves.
Does this make them premiership contenders, Terry?
Absolutely not. They'll be lucky to get out of the four.
It's worth a shot. Trying to be positive.
Yeah, bottom four, that is.
Bottom four.
Yeah. Braden Burns. Looks like he's going with the Dogs.
Bit hurtful for the Sharks. Not in terms of player quality because, you know, we've got players about that quality, but no depth.
Yeah, no depth. He would have been really good to push Connor Tracy. Now it looks like Connor Tracy's got that spot wrapped up.
But he's in the exact same spot at the Bulldogs as he is now. He's not going to play first grade.
Well, he's probably in a worse off spot unless the Bulldogs release one or two players. If he joined Cronulla, he's very close. Yeah, very close to being in first grade in the centres. And
does it spell the end of Corey Allen though?
Yeah, apparently he's going back south.
Well, I think South win that trade quite comprehensively.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we know about winning trades.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you heard it here first.
Max King's also gone to the Dogs. I don't know anything about this guy.
No, the only thing I noticed was because Storm fans were upset, so it makes me think that perhaps there's some talent there that I haven't seen yet.
But he didn't play this year, did he?
No, and they don't need it. They'll find 3 or 4 players that are better out of nowhere on less money.
They'll go and find Brian Norrie.
Yeah, it's fine, but...
Absolutely, it's fine.
It's still news, and that's what we do. We report the news.
We report.
Terry!
Talk to me, Dan. There was a grand final last night.
There was. I didn't want to talk about it, but I suppose we're bound.
Yeah, look, we are... I thought it was a great game. It was everything that we wanted in a grand final. I'm glad it wasn't a blowout. I'm glad it wasn't over at half time like Penrith last year.
Absolutely. That was a good job. Look, for mine, it didn't feel like a grand final until kick-off, and then for 80 minutes, it felt like a grand final.
Can I ask you this? Is the 7:30 kickoff too late?
No, I prefer a 6 o'clock, 6:30ish, but I know television, etc., money. I would prefer an earlier kickoff, but no, it wasn't.
The Q Cup, the second Q Cup game finished at 5:15. There was literally 2 hours and 15 minutes of pointless jibber jabber. 6 o'clock, you could have got the teams out there, done the welcome to country or the announcement to country, done the national anthem. Kick off at 6:15.
Yeah, look, I tend to think the pre-game entertainment means less and less every year. It just seems to be a what will go wrong, let's all have a laugh.
I mean, they have so many C-grade celebrities. You and I are going to be entertaining next year.
We'll be there next year.
Absolutely.
And we'll do a heaps unfunny Roy and HG lead into like they did this year.
I mean, it's the pre-game entertainment's so bad. Just give us the half time. Waste that 15 minutes for us.
Oh yeah, you got to put something on.
Yeah,
the trumpet guy fell off.
Yeah, I mean. You can have 20 minutes of pre-game entertainment, but 2.5 hours of waffle from, the Channel 9. Kind of like what you and I are doing now, but for 2.5 hours, it was just pointless.
In terms of the game, what result?
Yeah, look, in terms of the game, I think Penrith were the better team. It's really odd to say Penrith were definitely the better and most dominant team, but I felt like South Sydney should have come away with that win.
Absolutely right.
I thought it was a cracking game. I thought it was an absolutely brilliant game. What I will say to Penrith and South, though, is we did it first on the 14-12.
Yeah,
get your own scoreline.
It's been done. Look, I would... Penrith were the better team for mine. Absolutely. Yeah. But if South Sydney had nicked it late, I also don't think it would have been a travesty.
No.
It would have been really funny.
But I mean, Penrith was so dominant, had so much field position, and South Sydney just repelled them.
They did. Their defence, A+.
Yeah, they got a couple of... Penrith only scored a scab try and an intercept.
Yeah. Cody Walker, for mine, his first half was up there with the best first halves. Scored a ripper of a try. I called him big game Cody Walker. Boy, did I look silly.
No, you didn't look silly because if South win, he's the Clive Churchill medalist.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah, undoubtedly. You give Cody Walker that play 9 times out of 10 he puts Gagai through that hole. Johnson's going to score. Yeah, he just went for the hero play.
He did. It was a real shame, but I mean that's what good grand finals come down to.
Yeah,
a play either side. For mine though, South Sydney's window shut.
Yeah, that's it. This is the Canberra. It's Canberra all over again. It's one and done. But I will say, just going on to that Cody Walker pass, that wasn't it wasn't on Stephen Crichton's chest. He had to jump and catch that, and if he jumps and fumbles it, AJ's away.
Crichton, I've been screaming for him to go back to centres, made the play of the season on the wing. So
and I will say that Paul Mimarowski was very, very good against Dan Gagai.
Yeah, he was, kept him very quiet. Good. Look, ultimately, I think it was a game that was, could have gone either way.
Yeah.
But for mine, Latrell Mitchell head-hired himself out of a premiership medal. He plays last night, Southman.
Yeah, I just we talk about the plays in the pre-season. The NRL came out and said we're changing the rules. We're going to make a 2-point field goal, and everybody kicked off about it. We don't need a 2-point field goal. Yeah, last night it came down to a shot for a 2-point field. This is exactly what the rule was for.
If that went over, we're talking all time.
And Adam Reynolds has hit 2 of them this year, and unfortunately, it's the worst. He was hitting 50, 60 metre dropouts. Yeah. That was his worst strike.
It did go through.
It did, yeah. I honestly think if you can hit a field goal and it bounces and goes, it's 3 points.
He will never do that again. Mark
my words. No one will ever do that again.
He'll never be in a grand final again because he's going to Brisbane. But
he'll never play finals again because he's going to Brisbane.
No, he's done. Cable's done.
Yeah.
Souths are done. I say that with a bit of a smirk because it opens up a spot for us.
Yeah.
But I think Reynolds and Bennett out. South Sydney got it all to do.
The Clive Churchill medal, Dan. Were you happy with the result?
No, I knew it would go to him. I had Coruscant, Burton and Kickout ahead of him. I had Cleary. It's about the 4th best player for Penrith. If South win, Walker for mine.
I had Nathan Cleary second. I said full-time Appy Coruscant was my Clive Churchill medalist.
Not egregious though. You don't look at it and say, this is a disgusting decision like Canberra.
Yeah, I think Nathan Cleary was Penrith's best half. His kicking game was absolutely unbelievable. He was landing those bombs and getting Blake Taft pushed back into the in-goal. His kicking game was unbelievable, and his defence, apart from the Cody Walker shove-off.
Maybe he was the best player on the field.
Yeah, I don't think he was the best player on the field. I definitely think it was Coruscant.
It was close.
But it's not one that I'll walk away and scratch your head and go, like 2002 when Craig Fitzgibbon got it, but Brad Fittler absolutely destroyed the Warriors.
But in hindsight, a good decision.
Yeah, very good decision on that. Let's talk about some post-game brilliance, though.
Mate, I stick around. Since 2016, grand final's been ruined for me. Yeah. I get bitter. I'm like, it should be us. But last night, Channel 9, thank you. They completely turned my mood.
Look, I don't watch Channel 9 games at all because I can't stand Gus Gould. And so obviously I've got to watch him 4 times
Big fan of the show, Gus.
Yeah, got to watch him 4 times in the year. But Gus Gould's awful commentary was made up by 2 things of beauty at full time. Talk us through the first one, Dan.
Well, the first one for mine was Jonathan Thurston. Superstar, immortal, future immortal, one of the best players of all time, the worst interview of all time. Asked the question, holds the mic here, and Kate was talking, and he goes, oh yeah. And by then it was over.
Yeah, but, and it was Isaac Yeo. It was Isaac Yeo.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Oh, but to be fair, I wouldn't want to interview Isaac Yeo either.
Hey, look, they're both very tall, very good-looking footballers who both won a title.
Of all the D-listers that they could have got, they gave Jonathan Thurston, arguably the greatest player of our game, to interview Isaac Yeo, who's an absolute fraud.
Best 13 on the park last night.
He was not. Cam Murray was. And the second greatest thing of all time that happened, or the greatest thing of all time happened last night. Cam Smith was interviewing Nathan Cleary and asked him what it was like to bounce back after a loss to the Melbourne Storm with the cheesiest grin
good on him.
On his face. Mate, he had to get it in. And that's why I love Cam Smith.
I love Cam Smith, although I do have to bring up just quietly, and I know we're going long here, he had some shots at his former Storm players, I think because he felt he had to, in Cam Munster and Brandon Smith. I heard that he did it from his ill-gotten boat that was off the books.
Absolutely. And last thing we need to talk about, Dylan Edwards, premiership winning fullback.
Shame.
Absolutely.
Do Penrith move on from Edwards?
I don't think they do. I think they're stuck with him. They died on that hill when they released Dane Laurie.
They did, but they have a very, very talented fullback sitting on the wing.
That they do.
Just saying that's a question to be asked. Terry.
Talk to me, Dan. This is it, we're back, baby.
Favourite time of the week, mate?
It is, absolutely.
Black, white and blue. Very interesting club release this week to members, found in emails. Cronulla have said goodbye to Will Chambers, Aaron Woods, and Billy Magoulias. Interestingly, one name we didn't see on the release, Aidan Tolman.
Yeah, look, I'm okay with Aidan Tolman, the decision they're going to make. It's not a guy that you have to sign now. The market for Aidan Tolman is not that big. He's a squad filler. Yeah, he's a squad filler at the moment.
It's not going to break the bank, though.
No, he was cheap. He was on the bare minimum last year. I've said with Aidan Tolman, if he plays under 10 games, he's a fantastic signing.
Okay, yep.
When he plays over 10 games...
Yeah, when you start relying on him. Look, I'm still holding out hope there's a marquee prop on the way. But even so, do you keep him? Because the young players that are coming through, you know, the Vasquez's and the Pelés of the world, there's no guarantee that they're going to be ready.
No, you definitely keep Aidan Tolman around. Leadership, good bloke, not going to mess up in the off-season, going to be there, hard trainer, hard worker. And also as well, it's about getting that... What's the word I'm looking for? It's about getting that continuity and the professionalism for Craig Fitzgibbon.
Absolutely.
And I think there's no more professional, honest player in the game than Aidan Tolman. Mm-hmm. I'm happy for him to be in our top 30. There's a couple of other names like Jake Kachowski from Manly. Yep. We're linked to him. We were linked to Braden Burns. I still think he's going to be an outside back, but you're right. There definitely needs to be someone who's going to push Toby Rudolph back to the bench to start at prop for us.
Fair enough. The other one, Jackson Ferris.
Yeah, Jackson Ferris. Look, we didn't get Burns. I think it's important we keep Jackson Ferris.
We have to. The upside to Ferris is ridiculous. And again, you can keep him on a development contract because outside of... Well, the Bulldogs were the team that were linked to him.
This is his last year. This is his last year as a development player. You might as well just take advantage of it.
Spot on, use him, yeah.
Look... Dan, Luke Metcalf. There's speculation that the New Zealand Warriors want him. They're going to let Chanel, Harris-Tavita go onto the open market. And if he can secure a contract, they'll release him because they want Metcalf. What are your thoughts on him?
I love what I've seen so far from Metcalf. He's not the kind of player, though, that is going to be in the halves next year. Yeah. It's going to be Nico Hines and someone. Now, for me, I'm still leading towards Trindle. But Metcalf, for me, is second with Moylan at 14.
Yeah.
Cronulla don't need to make a decision now. We've still got him contracted for another year and we can sit on him if we want. Now, typically we're not a club that does that, but I think we should be.
Yeah, look, there's an interesting proposition for Metcalf. Look, he's definitely a player of promise and potential, but he's 22. He's only just, broke into first grade now. If the Warriors wanted him and they wanted to do a trade-off, I'd be happy to do it. And one player who is pushing for a release from the New Zealand Warriors is David Fusatua. I'd be entertaining that trade.
Yeah, if they're going to offer us a trade, I think you do it. Look, Metcalf's not going to be a player we let go and he's going to turn into Jonathan Thurston. With all due respect.
Yeah.
But in saying that, he's a player I want to sit in the squad for 12 months because this time next year we may be talking about him and Nico Hines as the future.
And also as well, the person that you said going onto the bench, Matt Moylan, he's not going to play 25 games. So there's going to be football
there. There's going to be spots. If I'm Cronulla, I'm saying see out this year and then we'll see what happens.
Exactly right. Two of our boys won premierships last night.
They certainly did. Capewell and Sorensen.
Yeah. Now,
good on him.
Scotty Sorensen was the captain of the greatest Jets moment in 2019.
Fantastic. Super handsome gentleman. Capewell's not too, ugly either.
And Sorensen as well had that horrific injury. And, the surgery came back for it. Look, out of anyone from Penrith that won a premiership, I'm so glad for Sorrow and Capewell because
only Sorrow and Capewell.
Yeah, look, they were the 18th and 19th man in our 2016 premiership.
They deserved it. Look, these are players who deserve this kind of thing. They always had it in them. Mm-hmm. Now, unfortunately, again, I've logged on to Facebook last night after the grand final and copped up. Why didn't we keep these two? They're better than anyone we got. Wade Graham and Britton Nakora are why these two looked elsewhere. Can't begrudge them. In Sorensen's case, you keep either he or Jack Williams. I don't think Jack Williams was in our top two forwards this year. I'm okay with the decisions.
Yeah, Jack Williams had a better season than Scott Sorensen. Scott Sorensen just ended up a premiership player.
Absolutely. And deservedly so. Yeah. I'm not going to begrudge either. But you can't keep them all.
I know. If Scott Sorensen had gone to the West Tigers, no one would be saying this now. It's because he got that premiership. The other thing as well with Capewell is we had to make a decision between Kurt Capewell, who's nearing his 30s, and Teague Wilton, who's entering his prime. And for mine, you keep Teague Wilton cheaper and junior.
Yeah,
that's it. Because if Teague Wilton left, and when he becomes a beast and playing Origin, it's like, why did we let a local junior go? You had to keep Teague Wilton.
You can't keep them all. I think Cronulla made the right decision.
Yeah. There's some news in the leader about our ground, Dan.
Going back to Shark Park next year.
12,000 people?
Yes. Looks like the Family Hill sides are going to be terraced, which is fun.
Yeah, it's nice.
Importantly, they've come out and said that it's not going to affect the capacity of the Family Hill, which is a real selling point that Cronulla have that not many other clubs do.
Yeah, the capacity of the ground about 12,000 though?
Yes, that's it. So it's going to be fun. Importantly, though, we're hearing that Cronulla won't play a home game for 7, or won't play a home game at Cronulla for 7 or 8 weeks.
No, we won't play a game at Kogarah. Apparently, our first 6 or 7 games are going to be on the road.
That's fine.
Fantastic.
Let's back end them. Let's win 6 games on the road, come back to Shark Park, and celebrate.
Yeah, give us our final 6 games at home as we march on to the minor premiership.
Hal Fitzgibbon.
Dan.
Talk to me, Terry.
Rugby league's over. The good news is we're going to continue to mug off Top Sports.
Well, that's my second favourite thing to do each week.
We are. We're going to continue to take lots of money off Top Sport.
American money.
Yeah, American money this time. Start with the NFL.
The greatest game of all.
Yeah, we're four rounds in. Who's your pick to win the Super Bowl?
Well, it's going to sound silly after they got flogged this morning, but the Rams, for me, are going to beat the Buffalo Bills in this year's Super Bowl.
I only got a rematch of last year's Super Bowl, Tampa Bay versus Kansas City. It's going to be the exact same result, and Tom Brady will become the greatest franchise of all time.
Look, that's very boring, but I think the odds are in your favour. That's looking very likely.
And look, the NBA. We're talking about the NBA here.
Greatest game of all.
Yeah, with an asterisk next to it. To win the season, I love the look of 2 teams that have just made lots of moves. I'm going to pick LA to beat Brooklyn, and just for the simple fact that I want Russell Westbrook to win a championship ring before he dies.
Yeah, Super Team City.
Yeah, so I'm going to pick LA to beat Brooklyn.
Look, I'm going to go completely different to you. I'm going to go Brooklyn to beat LA.
Oh, speaking of boring.
I don't want that to happen. As a Russell and Lakers fan, of course, of 4 or 5 seasons.
4 or 5 games.
Look, I just... KD, he's free.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. He's won it before, but this will be his ring.
Yeah, the biggest thing for Brooklyn hanging over them at the moment is what is Kyrie Irving going to do? Is he going to be there? Yeah, is he going to be there? If not, I mean, they've got a pretty handy player who just took his nation to a bronze medal in Patty Mills. But look, if Patty Mills is as good as he is, he's not Kyrie Irving.
Good number 4.
Yeah, he is. Look, it's those 2 teams are the standout teams at the moment in terms of off-season, what they've done. The makeup of it. And Kevin Durant now, he's had a full pre-season being healthy.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what people don't understand. He's come off a gold medal as well.
Look, I would argue if his feet weren't so gigantically big, he'd probably have one.
Yeah. Yeah, look, it was really good. It's really hard to write off Milwaukee after what they did. And, Giannis is just going to get better and better and better. But
he's the biggest human being I've ever seen.
He's just ridiculous.
What a man.
Yeah.
What a man.
Absolutely.
Continuing on with the NBA, and more importantly, the Australian contingent, Ben Simmons, where's he going to go?
Not Philadelphia's training camp.
Look, my goal in life is to be in a position where I can be on a $30 million contract and say, nah, no thank you.
Yeah, and it's not as if Philadelphia's done anything wrong by Ben. They've just criticised him rightly.
Yeah, true, but when your big name player comes out and says, can you win a title with him as your number 2, and he hesitates and says, right now, probably not, that's a kick to the nads.
But it's true, though. They haven't won with him.
Look, it's not about being truthful.
Yeah.
It's about his gigantic ego.
Yeah, look, I hope they trade him somewhere where he can't win a ring. I'm absolutely...
Going off it?
Oh, well, I was never on Ben Simmons anyway.
You're going right off
and my disdain for Philadelphia comes from him and the number 1 player at Philadelphia. But, yeah, I really, really hope they trade him somewhere like Sacramento or Orlando, where he's just going to rot for, a long time.
Look... Before the Olympics, I would have jumped in and defended Simmons, but saying he didn't want to play for his country, that annoyed me because I'm Australia first in terms of sport, and if he plays, we're in a better position to upset the States. So, I can't
The other thing as well is he said that he wasn't going to play for Australia because he wanted to train and get better and work on his jump shot, and then he ended up at Wimbledon.
Yes, he Wimbledon with one of the 33 Kardashians. Yeah. Come on, mate.
Nah, you can't be doing that. Just on the Australian contingent as well, Aaron Baines hurt his neck in the Olympics and doesn't look like he's going to play this season.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, that is. And that was a genuine shower injury.
Yeah,
not a Tom Turbo.
That was a real shame because he was lighting it up before the injury.
Yeah, he was so, people underrate Aaron Baines in the NBA and for Australia. He's a damn good player.
Who is going to be the Aussie to watch this year?
Look, the cheap answer is Patty Mills. Probably the exciting answer is Australian-born Marty Stiebel, even though he's not Australian-born, but he's ours now.
Yeah, we'll take it.
I just love Joe Ingles.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a 6'8" math teacher in the NBA earning lots of money, then that's me. I'm all about.
Very right.
I'm all about Joe Ingles.
So what you're saying is Simmons should teach math?
Yeah, or teach himself to shoot.
Well, he's not going to play basketball.
Yeah, he's going to play basketball.
Fair enough.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by Punktured Media. Don't forget to like and subscribe on all the socials where you can. Give us a follow, give us a thumbs up, trust us in the comments. Dan and I love it. It's real good to see you again, be in the studio. Mate. Yeah, look, Dan, for the last time this season,
Rugby League, baby! Terry, it's been good to see you.
No, whoa.